like that, but actually, no, it's not right. You don't get minus on the pictures, but on wrong answers. First hand I see. What I'm looking for is voting. First hand I see. Go ahead. Your group's got it. Your group's next. Tell me about voting. What about California?
California is saying that the children should vote half vote.
Okay, what children? Give me some ages. Give me some stuff here. At the beginning of high school. Quiet down. Go ahead. Luke, what's the age group again?
Like 14 and 15 and 16.
Okay, 14 and 15 should count as a quarter of a vote. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, 14 and 15 is quarter of a vote.
16, quiet down. 16 and 17 should count as a half. 18 and higher.
Above is one vote.
One vote. Okay. The California policy was, hang on, quiet down. The California policy was, if you were 15 or, if you were 18 or above, one whole vote. 16 or 17, a half vote. 14 and 15, a quarter vote. This is what you all just said. Is it legal to do this, or was there a problem?
It was not legal.
It was not legal. Why?
Because they were making people fractions of people instead of giving them full rights as citizens, which is against our Constitution.
Yeah, it was the denial of equal protection of the laws because not everybody's vote counted the same. Why was California trying to do this?
They were trying to get younger kids to vote and also improve the voting.
They were trying to get younger kids to vote, more active in the process. Some people argue they pay taxes at younger than 18. They should be able to vote at younger than 18. Anything else you want to get?
This is important to our country because California is often a trendsetter.
You know, that is true. California, in terms of political culture, is typically a trend-setting nation, and if they allow something like this, it could spread. Anything else? 5.
Other voting articles that we talked about, like the one for Ghana, like the voting in elections, and
yes.
and also in Egypt, like they talked about the one person in Egypt basically being like voted in legitimately, but he actually wasn't because they said that like they put the turnout as like significantly less than what
Egypt forged an election, and what about Ghana? Was it a forged election?
No, it was just really super close, like 50.23.
It was really close, and all hell broke loose afterwards.
Yeah, basically, it was just like it was super close, and yeah, they were like.
All hell broke loose? No, that's -5. That's -5. That's it. I said all hell broke loose, and you said yeah, it was really close. Mark, you got it.
You were leading.
No, actually, y'all were next. Go ahead.
The plaintiff was leading the witness, and that is.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
2 successful elections in Ghana, like one after the other.
That's a really good catch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ghana, for the first time, they had back-to-back, and it was successful elections in the sense that power transferred hands. So that's a really good example. Y'all have it. Do you want to say anything else about voting?
Okay, voting.
There are a number of examples you could use.
Can we just tell you statistics about voting, kind of?
Well, let's, if they're good.
Okay, for like the minimum states you need in order to win, like when you're running for election in the states, you need a minimum of 11 states.
What does that mean?
The biggest, like you have to take the biggest states in order to get the electoral votes.
Yeah.
So because not a popular vote obviously doesn't.
So what are you running for? I'm really not clear.
President.
So when you're running for president, what do you need?
Votes.
Yeah, but help me out here.
Electoral votes. You need you need a certain what? You need a certain amount of electoral
5.
votes.
You've said it all. I just need you to say it better. 4.
Can I tell you the states that you? Some of
3.
Oh, House of Representatives in the Senate.
1 -5. You've just given it back. Okay. Now it's Mark. Go ahead. And then go ahead.
I was going to talk about the California controversy.
What about the California controversy?
I mean, the big also controversy about it was that it was kind of alluding to slavery because back in when slavery was legal,
Okay.
slaves didn't really count as much as a person as others.
Yeah, that's actually absolutely true. There was some debate, and this does kind of go to what James said. Everybody didn't equal one person's vote didn't equal the same thing, but there was some question that if you make kids count less, it would be kind of hearkening back to the slavery times. Absolutely. Your group's got it. Anything else about voting? Go ahead.
The largest 11 states for the Electoral College are California, Texas, New York, Florida, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, New
Okay, now I think I've heard this before. What's the significance? What does that mean? Why is 11 important?
Because that's the 11 that you only needed to win those 11 to win the presidency.
To win what?
The presidency and the electoral.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was looking for on this. You had said a lot of things in bits and pieces, but lay it out to be specific. You need to win the biggest 11 states in the Electoral College in order to get elected president.
That's not fair.
You spun it around. That's why I was saying you said it all. Just say it better. Anything else? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, Blocky's group.
Yeah, I think that when the Ghana vote, it was the first of its type in Africa for a country to successfully exchange power within 2 elections.
Yeah, I can go with that. I can absolutely go with that.
What did you say?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First time in the entire continent. Anything else? 5, 4, 3. Yes.
And there was a thing about U.S. The voter turnout is pretty low compared to the population.
Yeah, compared to other,
compared to
like, Western
other-
countries. Well, not Western.
We'll come back to that. In terms of the articles, remember Iran. Because Iran had the Twitter article. Remember Iraq in terms of voting, because you could make the argument that who should vote whether or not the United States should be there. It was the Iraqis who were supposed to, in theory, do something along these lines. So understand, there were a number of other ones out there. Last correct answer was Blocky's group. Give me a fact and go ahead and clear it, Rosa. Or actually, pick me a category, I'm sorry.
That's not fair.
Gotta go!
We'll take chapter 3 for 4 points.
We're pretty good. Wait,
Okay, chapter 3 for 4 points. List all that you can. You guys have it first. Your group will have it next. Go ahead.
Chapter 3,
Well, actually, what is, go ahead,
what
click
are we
one more
supposed to
time.
list?
My bad. Islamic retribution.
Oh,
Your group has it. What is Islamic retribution?
The Islamic retribution was when the acid was poured into a lady's eye for love, and
Acid was poured in a lady's
No,
eye for love.
I'll take it.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
There was this, what country was this?
Five.
There was a Middle Eastern female student at a college university. Her and her friends would be kind of this one kid who was very shy,
Okay.
and he took it the wrong way as she, had feelings towards him.
Okay.
So one day, he asked her to marry him, and she said no, because
Okay.
in a very friendly way.
All right, so there was a woman. 1, 2, 3, 4. A woman from a Middle Eastern country. The country was Iran, so she was a student. Befriended a kind of disenchanted, kind of an outcast guy. He declared her love, as you said. Ultimately, what happened was she didn't want to marry him, and what did she tell him to kind of dissuade him?
She wasn't really interested in him.
She said something else, though.
She tried to hook her up with one of her friends, but
-4.
why'd you say that?
-4. Go ahead. You're next. You're next. Go ahead.
that never happened.
Quiet down.
She told him that she was engaged, that she was getting married.
She did say that she was engaged. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what did he do upon this heartbreaking
So he
news?
threw like a bucket of sulfuric acid on
He
her.
threw acid right on her face. Okay, why? What was it? What did he say when he threw the acid?
That if I'm not gonna marry you, no one else is gonna
If
marry
I
you.
can't have you, then nobody else will. And then a couple of days later, he came up with this acid, tapped her on the shoulder, and threw it right in her face. What happened?
And
Sorry,
1, 2,
I'm just
3,
laughing
4.
at him because of the way
she had to, her face, like, obviously, she went to go, like, lean forward, and, like, her face was, like, coming off, and she had to go to the hospital, and now she wants to put 5 drops of acid in each one of his eyes for doing that, and the judge doesn't know, like, the court doesn't know if that's really, like, fair. Because
Okay, number 1 on this. She was visibly deformed. She
Yeah.
suffered blindness. She had to go through a number of medical procedures. Is she going to get married to anybody more than likely?
No.
No, she was very pretty. She's not at this point.
Yeah, and
So
she-
under Islamic retribution, going back to that, what is the idea?
An eye for an eye.
Literally, almost, it's like an eye for an eye. If somebody throws acid on you, then you, under retribution, can go and perform basically the same function, if you will, on the person that did it. So the court at this point has ordered that she be able, or he actually have acid dropped directly into his eyes. And I believe in the article it was how many drops?
5.
It was 5 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anything else you want to tell
Oh
me?
yeah.
5.
The current
4.
president at the time personally had helped her pay a large portion of her bills, but then after
To go to Spain to get surgery.
Okay, anything else relevant that you want to tell me? 4.
after
3.
being